Hey guys, what's up? So, it has been pretty chill lately when it comes to Sonic news and leaks. I've been able to play more of Sonic Origins lately, and I'm almost done with 100%ing it. The missions are actually quite fun, you know. The game does have its problems. I don't like those gray blocks. It just reminds me of Sonic Forces. I wish they at least hit them, made them match the environment more like Sonic Generations did with the blocks. But it's okay, you know, like, I like the missions. The missions are actually the highlight of the game. The compilation def has some problems, but it's at least better than Color's Ultimate. Overall, it's a mid compilation. Hopefully Sega can address those issues and patch the game up though. But anyways, we're not here to talk about Sonic Origins, we're here to talk about Sonic Frontiers. We got some interesting things to talk about the story and possibly rebooting things. But before I get into this, be sure to smash that like button, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's see if we can get this channel to 100k subscribers this year and before Sonic Frontiers comes out. Alright, now, Sonic Frontiers story will most likely reboot the entire franchise. Now, this isn't something new. You know, I talked about this last year. I even forgot I made a video on it. I've made so many Sonic Frontiers videos. This was back when I was still calling it Sonic Rangers. Back in November last year, I talked about news, official news from Ian Flynn that Sonic Frontiers was going to reboot the entire franchise and that IDW can't really reference it. So let me play that video right here where I talk about it. It says IDW Sonic Comics will not reference Sonic Rangers. Ian Flynn has stated in a recent podcast that Sega preferred IDW to not reference the new Sonic games, as Sega doesn't want the comics stealing the new game's thunder and spoiling new story elements introduced in the new games. Sega is hoping for players to buy the new games as opposed to reading the story details in the comics. Flynn has also stated Sega prefers IDW to not reference older games for new comic readers to not have to go through a back catalog to understand the story. Flynn has stated they are unable to reference any of the games due to this and pitch what they can. So basically the games are going to leave the IDW comics behind, like officially. I mean, it hasn't really been done yet because the last official Sonic game we've gotten, a 3D Sonic game, is Sonic Forces, and IDW continues that story. So we haven't really had a Sonic game that retcons IDW comics yet, but that'll be Frontiers, and it won't just retcon. We were all thinking before Frontiers is just going to ignore everything that happened in comics. You know, like a lot of shows and anime do, they may ignore the manga or just continue where they left off, and then the comic or the manga tries to fill in the gaps and catch up. But no, Frontiers is just going to straight up retcon everything from the games and everything, leaving the IDW comics in this weird limbo, you know, where it's like its own continuity. And with Ian Flynn writing the dialogue of Frontiers, and most likely will be writing the story for future Sonic games, if they're good, the IDW comics would definitely feel neglected and stagnant. I'm not sure if I'm too fond of that, but like I said before, if I had to choose whether to have the video games have better story or the comics have better stories, I would go for the video games, because like Sonic comics have been running since the early 90s, you know, it's nothing new. But the games will always be more mainstream than the comics. Now this is one of two Reddit leaks I'll be reading. Now this one, I saw this before last month during the whole Sonic Frontiers hype, but I didn't want to talk about it yet because I wasn't too sure about it, but now we can definitely verify that this is legit. Now this was from a Brazilian playtester who playtested the game back in Summer Games Fest. Now he writes this in Portuguese, but it's translated. Now this is from PH Brazil. It says, finally I can talk about the most surreal aspect of Sonic Frontiers. The story seems to indicate that the previous games in the series took place in a fictional space, the digital world, and that now Sonic is in the real world. So Green Hill Zone is like Digimon's Archive Island. Now, first and foremost, I don't know much about Digimon. You know, I do know that show started back when I was like in elementary. It started like in 2000, I think. And it was just never as popular as Pokemon. I thought they stopped Digimon since like that original show ended, but I didn't know they're still doing Digimon. But yeah, I don't know much about Digimon at all. I just know it's digital monsters, and back then many people compared it with Pokemon saying that it's a ripoff. But yeah, as I'm aware, Digimon's Archive Island is kind of like a digital world, so it's not real. Any of you guys that watch me that know a lot about Digimon, please explain to me what the Digimon Archive Island is. But as what this guy is saying, the whole Sonic games, his whole canon from Sonic 1 to Forces is all in a fictional space. Now I know you guys are like, of course Sonic games are fictitious, we know that. Like, no, you guys don't understand. I'm talking about the Sonic games, the stories are in a fictional space, a digital world, and Frontiers takes place in the real world. Like Kronos Island on the Starfall Islands, it's real. So that was really weird. That's why I didn't want to talk about last month, because I needed more information on this. And it's like, yo, this could really serve as a reboot, retconning the previous games. And that's just crazy if Sega actually goes through with it. Now, before I would be like, yo, they're not going to execute this well. But with Ian Flynn at the helm, I have faith they'll be able to execute this story. But it sounds very bizarre. So it's going to make all his previous adventures like an illusion. That's some Sonic theory shit right there, man, if I do say so myself. Now let's read the next leak here. Now this is a 4chan leak, so take this with a grain of salt. But it does align with the whole rebooting of the series like the previous one I read. This was posted back in February 2022, so I never covered this yet, but let's read this. It says here, I originally thought this 4chan leak was a joke when I stumbled across it, considering how ridiculous and dark it sounds. However, considering what that one person who played the game at SGF said about the game's story, there may be more validity to this than I once thought. The weird, confusing plot leak kind of killed the hype for me. Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy start getting strong feelings of deja vu. They then start to experience flashes of memories that don't line up with their lives, hearing voices that seem to be coming from another dimension. They start to feel that something isn't right with the way their reality is unfolding. There's an artificiality to their world they never noticed before. They start to notice patterns in the way things happen. They start to predict people eerily. They start to notice the formula. It turns out classic Sonic and modern Sonic are from the same world, same dimension, and it's been 20 years since they've last seen the real classic cast. Modern Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy discover that they were Eggman's creations. They are not the originals cast. They are mutated superior clones with artificial memories of being the originals, Eggman being good, and their doppelgangers being evil. Destroying the classic cast was a goal they accomplished. Might explain the whole missing of Mighty and Ray. But yo, I can't believe they're going to bring the classic Sonic characters back. If there's two things I don't think are going to be in Frontiers, like legit, is classic Sonic and the Wisp. So I don't know about this one. Through their artificial memories, contradicting new memories of Eggman and the world, however, they gained free will and consciousness over time, starting to express remorse and act similarly to their real counterparts. They rebelled against Eggman. Unable to destroy them, Eggman managed to suppress their short-term memory and suppress their knowledge of original real Sonic cast. Dr. Eggman traps them in a simulated world that's linked to their conscious minds, where they can live as who they think they are, safely contained. The simulation was designed to keep suppressing their memories of past and true lives. They've been trapped in this simulation, unaware of the true nature of their origins in Sonic Adventure. Now, Generations, Mania, and Forces are when the simulation is starting to break down and manifest modern Sonic's subconscious memories of the real, original Sonic into a form his conscious mind can process. Okay, this is on some Inception shit. This is how the discrepancies between generations are being addressed from now on. First, Sonic perceived the original Sonic as his past self, then as an alternate him from another dimension, until Frontiers finally forces Sonic to face the reality that he killed the original Sonic. All of the modern casts like Shadow, Cream, Blaze, etc. were AI-generated holograms designed to keep Sonic and friends engaged in their fictitious reality and keep them stagnant, though many of them gain true sentience through prolonged activation combined with Sonic's friendship. In Frontier, Sonic finally manages to wake himself up and re-enter his real world. His main goal is to find out which facilities his Tails, Knuckles, and Amy's bodies are located, so he can free them as well. He has a mental link with them and they offer directions to help him free them. Modern characters also join Sonic through a cybernetic interlink, some trying to help him, some trying to hinder him. Some classic characters like Mighty Ray, Fang the Sniper, Flickies, etc. will be present as side characters. Cap! I'm calling Cap on that. And they'll be terrified to see the modern Sonic Terminator is running around the Eggman-controlled world again. In the end, Sonic saves the world from Eggman, saves his friends, and his holographic friends are given real bodies. The spirits of the original cast are met and finally pass on in peace, coexisting with the living classic characters. It seems the main intent was to unify the classic and modern settings once and for all. Alright, there's much of this that I do not believe. I just wanted to read this because I wanted to link it up with the other more legit leak from a playtester. But some things do add up about like retconning, rebooting. That's the one thing I have heard since early last year. From all the various leaks we've read, some true, some fake, some plausible, they've all been about reboots. Rebooting, reset, reboot. We all know this is going to happen. Frontiers is going to reboot the canon, but how? I don't think it's going to go down like this, especially that this doesn't mention Sage at all. It just mentioned Eggman as the big baddie, but Eggman loses his memories too, according to the official synopsis of Frontiers. But yeah, I just wanted to read that because that's very interesting, and some things do line up to what the playtester said. Speaking of playtesters, we actually got a tweet from Sonic Frontiers Twitter page. Sonic Frontiers, when it really started production. So this old Frontiers leak has been found recently. It doesn't have anything new, but I found it interesting that the leak is from August 2018 from someone who seems to have play tested the game and did a survey for it. And this says, did a consumer test a few weeks ago. They are making an open world Sonic where the objective is to destroy skyscraper-sized enemies. The game is going to be called Sonic Colossus or Sonic Titans. Save this if you don't believe me. Wow, we all know that Sega always goes through different project names, like with Sonic Forces used to be called Sonic Wars before it was Sonic Forces. And with Sonic Frontiers, we did know the file name was called Sonic Rangers, but this guy's saying its working titles was Sonic Colossus or Sonic Titans, which is very believable because Sonic Frontiers takes a lot after Shadow of the Colossus and obviously Zelda Breath of the Wild, but Sonic Colossus sounds very on the nose. Sonic Titans actually sounds pretty cool, but it reminds me of Crash of the Titans. Sonic Frontiers, I think, is a better sounding title, even though I keep confusing it with Sonic Forces. I keep on like accidentally calling Frontiers Forces because, you know, the names sound so similar and they look similar. But yeah, so what do you guys think about this? This means that Sega has been working on Frontiers earlier than we thought, since 2018. But Iizuka said that they started production on the next Sonic game, which was Frontiers, in early 2019. So what does this mean? Now, you guys need to understand that there's a difference between pre-production, main production, and post-production. Iizuka said main production on Frontier started in early 2019, which was after Sonic Team worked on Sakura Wars in 2018. But pre-production can be years in advance. So people saying late 2017, early 2018 is when pre-production of Sonic Frontier started, when they start planning things. But main production didn't start until 2019, as is stated by Iizuka. And post-production, I think we can say that they are in post-production phase right now, as the game is going to come out in a couple months. So what do you guys think about all this? Let me know down in the comments below. What do you think about this whole reboot news? And are you worried about it? Are you hopeful for it? And what do you think about Sonic being in the digital world? Like, does that sound good to you, or does that sound like a bad idea, them retconning the previous games? Also, what do you think about that 4chan leak? Do you think it's 100% false, or there's some truth to it? Let me know. Alright guys, that's all I got for now. So take care, and until next time, I'm out.